Hi everyone, my name is Kelly O'Mara. I'm with Humane Society International, and we are here on a dog meat farm in Gwangju, South Korea. There's 200 dogs in this farm. We plan to bring them all to a much happier place in the United States and Canada and in the UK. All of them will be going into loving homes. But we're going to be starting off with a small batch that are going today. These are the lucky guys headed out, the first of the bunch. This is little Leo. You may remember him from a few days ago. Behind me is his mom, Juliet. And they're both headed out today. And as you can see, little Leo is nervous. It's probably his first time out of his cage in his entire life. But where he's going, he couldn't possibly know is going to be so very wonderful. And we're so happy to be able to offer him this opportunity to be the companion dog he was meant to be. So we're going to put the guys, little Leo, into his crate. All right, Leo. You can go inside this crate, guy. I know you're nervous. I know. You're going to be okay. You're going to a great place. There you go. All right, Leo. Juliet is headed out today, too. As I mentioned, these dogs have never been out of these cages. As much as they're a prison, they're also the only home they've ever known. And even though we know that they're going to a wonderful place and going to become companion animals in a loving home environment, they don't know that. They have not had a good experience with humans that make them entirely trusting of us. And that's entirely justifiable considering these conditions that they live in, this horrible place that they have to call home. We're headed now to go put them onto the bus, where they will be transported to the airport. And then from there, they headed over to America today. There are 9 dogs total going out today. Juliet and Leo are, as I mentioned, part of the first batch headed out. And putting them on the bus, so we're wrapping up. This is the final group. 2 buses headed to the airport. Bye, Leo. Bye, Leo. Bye, sweetheart. I can show you a few other dogs you may know from previous exposure on this farm and coverage of our farm that we're closing. They head on down this way. Actually, let's head on down the same one so we can show you some dogs along the way. As you know, they start as soon as they see humans, it erupts into barking. And there's so many different types of dogs. It always amazes us. This is our 6th farm closure. But every time, we're so amazed to see the variety of dogs that are on these farms. Imagine they're all curious. They all just want to sniff your hand, and they've got waggly tails. You know, they're hesitant, but they're willing. You can see that some of these dogs still have collars on. Unfortunately, those were probably the saddest cases on these farms. They were pets. They were dropped here. No one knows how people can do that, but they do. They knew probably a loving home at one point, and now they've ended up on a dog meat farm. And we're going to give them a chance to be what they were meant to be, which is beloved companions and loving homes. Hi guys! Hi sweet babies! Hi loves! As you can see, huge groups of dogs in tiny cages. How they group these dogs, none of it makes sense, but we see it on every farm. Six dogs in this tiny cage. And this is the life they have to lead day in and day out. So let's go over and meet Julius, who you may know. Julius is a sweetheart, along with so many others on this farm. Hi guys, my sweeties. And this is Julius. Just about the sweetest dog. Such a love. You may remember Julius. Julius will be headed out in the coming days as well. Headed out this week. We can't wait for him to have a new life. He's the epitome of the dog that was meant to be. Walking along the beach with us or in the mountains, hiking along, he is a total sweetheart. And then we have little Annie over here. You may remember little Annie. Little matted Annie. Annie was probably also a pet at one point in time. These little dogs, either they were part of the pet trade at one time and didn't sell as a pet, and so they get auctioned off into the dog meat world. And this happens all too often to these dogs. And Annie's likely an example of that. So whether a dog is raised on these farms or they end up on these farms, they all have the same fate. And that's to be slaughtered for meat. But these dogs are the lucky ones. There's 200 and they're going to a wonderful place, each and every one of them. And we're so very grateful for all of you out there who help us, allow us to do this, give these dogs the opportunity to be the companions they're meant to be. And if you'd like to help us, you'd like to learn more about our campaign, please go to hsi.org/help. And thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for, again, allowing us to be here and to help these incredibly special creatures.